radio show called The Possibility Project and writes monthly columns for a variety of publications. She published her first book in 2012 called These 5 Words of Mine. Please help me welcome Jane Croneberger.
Hey! How are we doing? Excellent. Oh, really? That was
great. We're doing great.
Yeah. I'm gonna give you a fair to partly cloudy on that one. All right, and maybe a little bit of snow mixed in. So first thing we need to do, because this is the most important thing of the entire night, and I need you to stand up real quick.
I took away a lot today. I've always had a problem with my confidence and trying to keep it up without overstressing myself, and she really helped me put things in perspective when it comes to your confidence and communicating with people to get where you want to be in life.
How many of you have ever dealt with low confidence? Raise your hand and raise them proud. Mine's up. And if you look around the room, you're going to see that pretty much every single person in this room says, yes, at some point in my life, I was there too. When I was young, my desires were quite simple. And I have to admit that some haven't changed today. Except, thankfully, the haircut. Yet, these next, probably the biggest desire I have today is that these next 40 years of my life be just as full of these 5 principles as the last 40 have been. So when I was in 8th grade, I was always one of the tallest girls in the whole class. I heard that. Mm-hmm. So you can relate. Okay. So this was my class picture. That was me. I was the heartbeat, or the mountain, or whatever that was, right? And I could always hear my friends down the hall, oh, there she is, I see her head. That's great.
I saw her TED Talks, and it convinced me to come here, actually, to this regional. The statement of, I can too, I did, is so amazing and so simple, and just choosing and making a choice, like she said, to do what you love is just enough and just so simple, and she is just an amazing person. Thank you.
So, going through 8th grade, we did the 8th grade superlatives, right? You know what I'm talking about? Now, there wasn't a tallest category, don't worry. People are like, oh, that's awful. Best this, most likely to do this. Well, I was chosen for the girls as most athletic. And the boy who happened to be chosen as the most athletic boy happened to be the shortest kid in the entire class. Good old Josh Lipton. Yeah. So it came time for the yearbook picture. And so they lined us up, and they're going along, and they're taking the picture, and they thought it would be a really fantastic idea to put Josh on a chair. You know, people used to ask me, is that a real story? I'm like, I cannot make this up. The best part is they left the chair in the picture. Come on. It's an honor for me to be here today. Before I get started, there's one really important thing that we have to do. So everybody stand up real quick. See, I've always been told that it's not real unless you get a picture. So we need a nice big selfie. You ready? Serious. And I remember I get the yearbook, I race home, I'm like, Mom, forget it. Nothing to see here, keep on moving. I was mortified. I was mortified. Now, notice my... Failure, everybody's favorite topic. Here we go. Is failure good or bad? How many of you say failure is bad? Raise your hand. Liars, every single one of you. Except you. Okay, so let's say you're in class and you get a 49 out of 100 on a test. Are you feeling all right about that? You're all like, oh, well, no, not that kind of failure. Really? All right, so how many of you say failure's good? Raise your hand. Okay. How many of you say failure is good or both? Raise your hand. Keep them up.
All of our members just flocked to her after the presentation because they just wanted to meet her. And she always connects with them. She connects with them on Facebook, through telephone. People just feel so connected to her. So she actually ended up sticking around throughout the year. We had a few dinners with our members that people could just really get to know her on a personal level, and they loved it. She's absolutely amazing, and I would absolutely have her back again.
Oh, come on, you're not doing push-ups. You're all like, it's Saturday. My hand only goes to here. Okay, get your hand. Did I say put them down? Good. Keep them up. How many of you with your hands up right now want to be a failure? Oh, really? Really? Okay, so we have a little confusion about failure. Can we agree? Yeah. We're like, failure's good, but not for me. Failure's good, but for that guy over there. Fail on, my friends. You're going to learn from it. And I've been wanting to write a book since I was 7, and I kept telling myself, you can't write a book. Who are you to write a book? Nobody knows you. Nobody's going to buy your book. How about if nobody buys your book? You don't even know how to publish a book. You can't write a book. And 3 short months later, in December of 2012, my book was on Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com, and shortly after in my hands. Why? Because I made a choice. I made a choice. I went from I can't to I did, with that mantra that started me off. Figure it out. And it's real. That's me. So I want you to understand something. See, we all have those stories. We all tell ourselves we can't. And there's all these reasons that we give ourselves for why we can't.
And I think it was a beautiful thing. I took away a lot, and I think she's amazing, and look forward to seeing her again soon.
I'm like, all right, get out of here. We'll see you tomorrow. So they leave, they come back, and the next day at the end of practice, I had them circle up, and I said, okay, today, you're going to give me 2 push-ups. Oh, and count them out. 1, 2. Okay, we're done. I said, all right, ladies, have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow. Next day they show up, they do? 3. Woo! Honor Society, what? That's right. And then the next day they do? 4. 5. I'm just kidding. I hear why. I told you I was an English major, right? Math is not my strong suit. Okay, so every day they did 1 more. They did 4, then they did 5, then they did 6, and so on and so on. Every time we met, whether it was a game or a practice, okay? And fast forward to May 7th of that year, we finished in the conference tournament. We lost the last game. I'm collecting my things in the dugout, and I turn around, and they're gone. And I thought, wow, they took that hard. Here they are out in the right field corner, circled up, doing push-ups. And in that moment, I realized they got it. They got it because, see, it became a pride thing for them. It wasn't about what they did. It became about who they were. It became who they were. And on that day, May 7th, they did 67 push-ups. Now, let me ask you a question. If I were to tell you we're going to go find a space in this hotel, and we're going to circle up, and we're going to do 67 push-ups, how many of you would say, we are not doing anything like that? Raise them high and raise them proud. Okay, that table apparently would like to do 67 push-ups. Nice. Okay, so go ahead, raise your hand again if you say I don't think so.
I don't think I have a hard time.
I get the Okay, so let me ask you something. Let me ask you something. See, if I ask them, the same thing on February 1st, they would have said the same thing. Why? Because I asked them later. And I said, how many of you really thought that you could do 67 push-ups at once? And they all said, we had no idea. See, we don't know how far we can go until we go there. All right, here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 29. Oh, we got, oh, the middle. There's a request for the middle. Are you ready? So that includes some of you. So be ready. Here we go. 1, 2. Okay, I only got my hair. Hold on. 1, 2. Okay, that was a little late on the draw. I snapped it and she goes, okie doke. Okay.